This is an audiobook recording of the novella Silent Hill, Paranormal Investigation Team by Nico ARMIN, published in July 2025. As a fair use disclaimer and statement of tribute, this novella is written with respect to the original franchise, owned and distributed by Konami Group Corporation. The work contained herein is an original work by the author. No copyright infringement is intended. Prologue. They say if you stay in the fog long enough, you forget what you came for. The story goes that it eats memories, names, faces, even time. I don't know if I believe that, but I do know that some places have a weight to them, a pull, and for the last 6 months, something's been pulling me toward a place no longer on the maps, called Silent Hill. I'm Malcolm Barrett. I'm 26. Fresh out of film school, and I investigate the kinds of stories most people conspire to pretend aren't real: ghosts, disappearances, old towns with names nobody likes to say out loud. Dana, my wife, is in charge of editing and sound. We filmed episodes in decaying hospitals and on back roads that don't show up on Google Earth. We've caught shadows, voices, and things I still can't fully explain. But Silent Hill? Silent Hill is my white whale, a place that's been an urban myth since my father was in school. Yet most people seem to have selective amnesia and pretend it's merely a story you tell in the dark with your flashlight in your face. But I know for a fact it's real. I have proof. I obtained a federal document saying the town was condemned in the spring of 1999. Officially, environmental degradation due to long-term infrastructural collapse. Translation: don't ask. The roads were closed off. The buildings were left to rot. The state scrubbed it from active records like Stalin erased Trotsky from his photos. But not everything was erased. Silent Hill wasn't always a ghost story. It used to be a postcard town, literally. We found old tourism flyers and magazine ads from the 60s and 70s, and a collective's archive out of Bangor. Quote, "Welcome to Silent Hill, the jewel of Toluca Lake." Unquote. The kind of copywriting that comes with soft piano music and smiling families. There were ski lodges, antique shops, and a lakeside promenade. The crown jewel was Lakeside Amusement Park, opened in 1959, closed without warning in 1986. A few scattered photos still survive in faded brochures. Ferris wheel in the fog, a bunny-faced funhouse with chipped paint. One article from New England Living called it Maine's Coney Island. You won't find those ads anymore unless you're looking for them in basements or estate sales. But they're out there. The government missed those, or maybe they couldn't scrub them all. And then the other stories began. Somewhere in the late 80s, things started to change. First came the reports of strange rituals, fires in the woods, children going missing, families moving away without a trace. Then came the whispers about a cult that allegedly operated out of the town's central chapel. Local police downplayed it all. Some say they were in on it. Others say they were just as afraid. Around the same time, a drug called White Claudia began surfacing on the black market, derived from a flower unique to the Silent Hill region. It was said to induce deep hallucinations and, quote, spiritual experiences. The DA flagged the area, but never followed through. The file ends with the note, quote, unreliable informants, fieldwork compromised. I've talked to the kids who say they found old road signs leading into town and tried to sneak in. Most turned around when they saw the fog rolling off the lake. A few made it further in. One said he saw a mannequin in a shop window change positions when he wasn't looking. He let me keep one of his Polaroid photos of the mannequin in question. Even Dana thinks it's the creepiest mannequin she's ever seen. It practically moves in the frame of the photo, but yet it doesn't. Another kid swore the swing set in the park was still moving, even though there was no wind, and no one else around. He somehow ties this to a story about when his friend went missing that night. He won't talk about it anymore. All this might sound like classic internet horror and melodrama, the kind of stuff that floats around message boards, then gets turned into shaky cam footage and ad revenue, but Dana and I don't do hoaxes. And if even a fraction of what I've found is real, we might be looking at one of the biggest buried stories in American paranormal history. A week ago, we pitched it to a major television producer. Not going to say who for NDA reasons, but it's the same company behind Adventures with Ghosts and Haunted House Calls. We sent them a short dossier. The next day, they called us back. If you can get in and bring us something that we haven't seen before, we'll talk series funding. That was all we needed to hear. Right now, we're loading up our van in a parking garage in Portland. Dana's checking the backup batteries and mounting the FLIR cam on the dashboard. I've got the maps laid out, outdated paper charts, one annotated with notes from a retired game warden who claimed to patrol near Toluca Lake in the early 90s. He told me the woods felt wrong back then. Said something about hearing voices when he hiked too close to the edge. Last we spoke, he said he forgot to tell me something. Then he forgot what it was again. Talk about ironic. We've plotted a route that ostensibly serves as a major barrier, logging roads and maintenance trails, the kind of paths that don't show up on GPS. If we're lucky, we'll reach the outer limits by the afternoon. The plan is for 3 days and 2 nights where we document everything. The state troopers say Silent Hill doesn't exist, and from what I can tell, they believe that. I didn't say anything to Dana, but I think this is a good thing. It means they won't be a problem when we have to bend a rule or two. What's more, I've read the old mailers. I've seen the photos of kids smiling in bumper cars by the lake. I know something lived there once. Maybe something still does. Maybe it's housing a witness protection program. Man, I hope not. Or maybe it's the biggest hub of paranormal activity this side of the Mississippi. Either way, we're going to find out. Silent Hill is waiting, and this time, someone's finally listening.